From kitty cats eating hair accessories to frogs gobbling pebbles, here are 10 bizarre discoveries found inside pets. Number 10. The python that ate the beach towel. Vets in Sydney, Australia were put to the ultimate test when they had to remove an entire beach towel from a python named Monty. The 11-pound pet carpet python had a full-sized beach towel lodged in her throat, which her owners had walked in on her eating the night before. Apparently, she was having a late-night snack on top of the towel, and when she finished that snack, she just kind of kept going. The 18-year-old snake needed anesthetic before doctors used x-rays to confirm the towel was indeed inside the snake. To remove the towel, the vets put an endoscope camera down the serpent's throat and then used a pair of forceps to grab the tip of the towel. Captured on the endoscope's camera, the procedure required extremely skilled vets to tend to Monty. One had to make sure she had a good grip on the towel, which was covered in a thick layer of goo, before they carefully removed it from the snake's gastrointestinal tract. As one vet held Monty's mouth open, the other slowly pulled on the towel to remove it. The towel was lodged so far down the snake's throat that it took both vet techs and 4 hands to remove it. Luckily, both the towel and the snake survived unscathed, but we can bet the owners will be a little more attentive when Monty is feeding. Number 9. Chihuahua eats sewing needles. In a disturbing case of animal cruelty, a tiny Chihuahua named Yoda needed crucial surgery after he was force-fed something sharp. This story makes me so mad. I will fight whoever did this to Yoda. Vets in California noticed the dog was limping and lethargic. After taking a set of x-rays, the vets were in for a shocking surprise. Yoda had 9 sewing needles lodged inside him. After settling in his stomach, the needles had started to go through Yoda's liver and diaphragm on the way to his chest, a critical situation for the tiny dog. After rushing Yoda into surgery, the veterinary team worked to extract the needles, using a magnet to retrieve the one piercing his heart. Sadly, the tiny dog's heart stopped during the operation. Vets worked feverishly, massaging Yoda's heart for 15 minutes before they decided to escalate the rescue with the help of a defibrillator to shock the Chihuahua's heart. Luckily, Yoda survived the ordeal, and despite the $9,000 surgery, he made a full recovery. He was later moved into a foster home while waiting to be adopted by a loving family. Number 8. The cat who ate 40 hair ties. It's not uncommon for curiosity to get the best of a cat, but one such cat named Winnie had a habit that ended up resulting in a trip to the hospital for the feisty feline. Winnie is a big fan of playing with hair ties. The 4-year-old cat wasn't eating her food, and her owner started to get worried. She also noticed the cat had formed a big lump on her stomach, which she feared might be a hernia. Unfortunately, the lump would turn out to be something else, something that would put the cat's life at risk. After taking her to the vet, Winnie's owner was told that an ultrasound and x-rays revealed the source of the growth. Instead of something growing inside the cat, Winnie actually had eaten such a large quantity of hair ties and elastic bands, they were stuck and lodged inside her, which caused the lump to form. Vets who feared the objects in her gastrointestinal tract could be fatal rushed the cat into surgery. After a 3-hour operation, they removed 40 hair ties from the cat's stomach. Luckily, Winnie recovered from the surgery, but after the ordeal, her owners are now extra careful about leaving hair ties around the house to prevent another scary situation such as this from happening again. Does your cat like to play with hair ties? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more videos like these. Number 7. Homer Simpson and the Dalmatian. A 10-year-old Dalmatian named Dixie became severely ill after mistaking a Kinder Egg for a delicious snack. Well, I'm sure it was a delicious snack, but it didn't work out very well for Dixie. Dixie's owners, who live in Scotland, grew worried when the dog became very ill, losing a lot of weight and becoming severely dehydrated. After a trip to the animal hospital, vets found the plastic toy egg inside Dixie, but the Kinder Egg wasn't the only discovery made by the vets. After vets performed an x-ray, they found that inside the egg, there was a plastic figurine of Homer Simpson. Doctors who examined the dog said Dixie would not have survived if her owners hadn't taken action and brought her into the vet. It's not uncommon for dogs to swallow things that they shouldn't, But Dixie's vets said that Simpson's character figurine was one of the more unusual cases they had seen. If the egg had been left inside her, Dixie would have certainly died. Kinder eggs are chocolate eggs with toys inside of them. They're actually banned in the US because they are potential choking hazards. After her surgery, Dixie was kept in the hospital for a few days and prescribed a special diet to help her recover. Luckily, her life was saved and Dixie was sent home with a clean bill of health. Number 6. Alligator eats pit bull. This one isn't actually what was found inside of a pet, it's more of what the pet was found inside of. Alligators are strong, but can they eat a tank? If the tank in question is a pit bull, then sadly, the answer is yes. While taking her dog for a walk, a woman was stunned and horrified when an alligator emerged from a retention pond in Polk County, Florida. The 100-pound pit bull was helpless to the powerful 11-foot gator's attack. Tank's owner watched in horror as the animal devoured her beloved pet, who was running around off his leash at the time. To add insult to injury, the alligator came up from the water a second time with the dog still in its mouth, traumatizing her devastated owner. Members of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Organization later set out to find the predator, hunting and trapping the gator. Although gator attacks like this are considered rare, the attack on Tank, a beloved pet, left the dog an unfortunate victim. Number 5. The dog that likes socks. Do your dogs like to chew on socks? A Great Dane who liked to chew on socks fell victim to the habit when he became sick and rushed to the vet. At the local animal hospital in Portland, Oregon, X-rays revealed a large amount of foreign material in the dog's stomach. Emergency surgery revealed the source of the dog's illness was 43 and a half socks the Great Dane had swallowed. Even though this was described as the most socks the vet had ever pulled out of an animal, the Great Dane, bizarrely, isn't the top of the list for pets who have swallowed strange things. A tongue-in-cheek contest by the vet magazine Veterinary Practice News has tallied the weirdest things pets have eaten, with the Great Dane coming in at number 3. Another pet, a dog who ate a meat and vegetable shish kebab, including the skewer, also made the list. Luckily, the big doggy was discharged a day after his surgery to recover at home. Number 4. The rock-eating fish. Just because a goldfish isn't as cuddly as a dog or cat doesn't mean their owners don't get attached. In the case of Conker, a Ranchu goldfish, the pet seemed to be acting strangely, so its owner took it to an exotic pet vet service in Brisbane for a checkup. Vets found the fish had swallowed a pebble from its tank. Doctors had to give the fish anesthetic and perform a procedure to remove the pebble. With a hefty price tag of $500 for the procedure, some may think the owner's decision was a little excessive. But luckily, Conker conquered the ordeal and was able to go home to his loving owners. This isn't the first time a goldfish has gotten into trouble. 2 years ago, another fish named George needed vets to remove a tumor from his head at the cost of $200. Stories like this are an example of how people form bonds with their pets that no one can put a price tag on. Number 3. Tennis ball husky. Tennis balls are often a favorite toy of dogs everywhere, but in the case of a husky in the UK, it would turn out to cause a bit of a medical emergency. Going to the park to play was a daily treat for Pax and his owner. After watching the husky throw his ball in the air and catch it most of the day, Pax's owner noticed at the end of the day that Pax didn't have his ball anymore. Assuming he'd simply lost the ball while playing, the two returned home. But realizing later that Pax just wasn't himself and was sick and lethargic, his owner took the 2-year-old dog into the vet for an examination. Doctors found the missing tennis ball lodged in the dog's abdomen. Trying to fend off the life or death situation, Pax was rushed into surgery despite the risks, and the ball was removed. Luckily, Pax was sent home the same day. Although he ended up with a 4-inch scar, the husky lived to play another day. Number 2. Fish eat fish world. Having multiple breeds of fish in one tank isn't that strange, and seeing one fish eat another, although shocking, isn't really that strange either. But what about when a smaller fish eats a fish as big as itself? In an aquarium in Indonesia, cameras captured the moment when a gulper catfish swallowed a goldfish. The unsuspecting goldfish was happily swimming alongside the catfish when the predator spun around, opened its mouth, and swallowed the goldfish whole. The goldfish put up a fight, thrashing around a bit as the catfish latched onto its head. But sadly, the catfish devoured the goldfish. Shockingly, the catfish would grow to twice its size with the goldfish now embedded in its stomach. Known as a vicious predator, the gulper catfish has a very prehistoric appearance. Growing up to 10 inches in size, they have been known to eat fish even bigger than themselves. They tend to use their sense of smell to find prey because they have particularly bad eyesight. Even though they are sometimes known to be picky eaters, this one was perfectly happy to chow down on the goldfish. So if you're thinking about keeping a gulper catfish as a pet, use this story as a cautionary tale and choose its tank mates wisely. Number 1. Frog eats rocks. Another contender for the strangest things found in an animal's stomach comes from a pet frog in Texas. After noticing Kermit was eating the rocks in his cage, Kermit's owners took him to the animal hospital. Vets discovered large masses on the x-rays, confirming Kermit had been chowing down on the ornamental rocks a little too much. Luckily, all it took to save the little guy was surgery to remove the rocks. But to make sure it didn't happen again, his owner made the wise choice to remove the rest of the rocks from his habitat. Although most frogs only eat things that move, like insects, for whatever reason, Kermit had a craving for something with a little more heft. We can't help but wonder if his owner also noticed the strange eating habit attributed to most frogs. Most animals use their tongue and teeth to swallow prey, but have you ever watched a frog eat? They close their eyes when swallowing, but it isn't because they're shy. They retract their eyes, which puts pressure on their mouths and helps them to push the food into their throats. Because their tongues are not anchored at the backs of the mouth, they need a little bit of help pushing their food along. Hopefully, the next time Kermit is feeling peckish, he'll pay more attention to what he eats. Thanks for watching. What's the strangest thing your pet ever ate? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!